All right. Hey, how you guys doing? My name is Anthony Murray. Thank you for being with us today. Guess what? We're going to be starting a new format, a new broadcast. It's still going to be financial sense. It's just going to be a little different. And you know what? You are going to be super duper blessed. It's going to be phenomenal. We're going to have a variety of guests. Uh, Today we have a guest that's going to be dealing with something that I know you ladies are going to like. I know you're going to like it. All right. I'll tell you a little bit more about it in a few moments, but this guest is going to be with us shortly. And I'm telling you, you don't want to miss. Now, what you want to do, you want to let all your friends know because this new format, uh, we're going to try to every week highlight a business or every week deal with what we've been dealing with, helping you with your money. Now, next week, I have two people coming on that's going to be dealing with mortgages and real estate. And look, you want to be here for that. You really do. You want to be here for that. All right. So don't miss it. Stay with us. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be really good. We're going to have a variety of guests. And then after that, we have people coming on that are restaurant owners. We have musicians coming. Yeah. No, the musicians aren't going to be playing. They're going to be talking. All right. They're not going to be singing. They're going to be talking. So it's going to be really good. You don't want to miss this. You really don't. There's going to be a lot of things going on in the show. Um, Everything related to money. And every week that we're on, I'm going to talk about something extremely important. Hey, did you guys know that this is Financial Literacy Month? Financial Literacy Month. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. It's going to be really really powerful and it's going to help you out a lot. All right, it's going to help you out a lot. Wow, we actually have a guest that's on from Kenya. Wayne, welcome aboard, sir. What a blessing to have you. So let me talk a little bit about financial literacy and the importance of money, the importance of it. I was talking with somebody today. I was talking with somebody from a young guy, He's 21 years old, and talking with another young guy, 27. They both standing together. And I was talking to them about life insurance. And this is something that a lot of people don't understand. They didn't understand something very simple. You ready for it? It's called compound interest. They did not understand compound interest. So I explained it to them, and I'm explaining it to you in the simplest terms that I could possibly think of. Let's say, for example, you buy a life insurance policy that is considered to be a indexed universal life. Now, there's a variety of policy styles out there. One of them is called term insurance. The other one is called whole life. Now, whole life is actually term insurance that offers cash value. Okay, that's extremely important. Indexed universal life is a whole life policy that is attached to an index or several indexes. So that's extremely important to understand. The index will give you the value of earning higher interest rates without you worrying about losing money. See, an index is indexed to the stock market, but it's not in the stock market. It's not stock. So you don't have to worry about if the stock market falls below zero. Man, am I going to lose my money? No, you're not going to lose your money. The index has a very, very powerful safety net. And that safety net means that if the market goes below zero, keep in mind the index is attached to the stock market, or if I could say following the stock market. So if the stock market goes below zero, the index have that safety net, which is either zero, so you don't lose anything, or in some cases, point something. Like one of my companies offer 0.75. So you're still earning, right? Even if the market goes minus 20, you're still earning in an indexed universal life policy. So I was explaining compound interest. $100. Let's say the interest rate is 7%. Man, you're going to earn 7%. 7% of $100, $7. So compounding means that interest becomes part of the principal or that $100. So during the next time it's calculated or earned, it's no longer calculating just on the 100, but the 107, because that 7 became part of the principal. And it just keeps snowballing and snowballing and snowballing. And hey, you know what's also beautiful? The tax deferment. So your taxes are tax deferred forever in the index universal life. Taxes are tax deferred. All right. And then if you needed to take some of that money out, for whatever reason, I don't encourage you to, but in the event that you had to, if you needed to, you could take some of that money out tax-free. So the benefits, the tax benefits are huge. They're enormous. All right. So every week, I want to give you a little tidbit about life insurance, and I want to encourage you to get your life insurance. Make sure you get it. Make sure you get your life insurance. Well, our guest today is a master cosmetologist. Master. All right. And so this master cosmetologist is going to help us, understand how we can save money. All right. You can save money, how you can make money, how you can take care of your hair, how you can do a lot of things in that area of finances for your hair. All right. I mean, look, I don't want to go bald, but if I did go bald, I need to make sure I know what to do with my baldness. Hey, listen, I want to introduce to you Miss Samaria Wildridge. Samaria! Hey, girl.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Wonderful, wonderful. Wow. Now, listen, I'm not sure. Is David one of your guests? Is he with you?
Yes, if David is on here, yes, he's one of my guests. Mm-hmm.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. So normally what we would do normally is suggest to you to get into the YouTube area. All right. And follow us from YouTube. All right, was David going to be speaking with you?
No, I don't know if he was prepared for that, but I don't know how I did not. I just sent the link to him because I don't know how to do this. To YouTube.
It's all right. It's all right. What you want to do? You want to go to YouTube, and from YouTube pull up Financial Sins. If you do that. If you go to YouTube and pull up Financial Sins, then that's where David would go, or your other guest. Just send them to YouTube and tell them, hey, pull up Financial Sins. And
Financial Sins, is that financial and sins as in SENDS?
SINS.
Sins, Financial Sins, SINS.
Yep. Let me move my head. Can you see it up here?
Yes, now I can see it. Yes.
All right. Financial Sins. Yeah. All right. And so that's where you want to send people. But
okay.
Hey, listen, you are a master cosmetologist.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, so tell us a little bit about that. What grabbed your attention? Why did you want to get involved in cosmetology? And and just give us the background.
Okay. Well, that was already a passion of mine, and it was something that I did for
Hmm.
fun.
Hmm.
So I did it as side work as a teenager and a young adult. And eventually, after going to school for everything else, like early childhood education, also looking towards law and psychology, um, after a while, it was just suggested to me by my mother actually to just go ahead and try to look into doing hair. I
Hmm.
didn't know that a lot of people look at, and as I did as well, look at doing hair or stylist and stuff as something that you don't have to put much work into as far as
Hmm.
school goes.
Hmm.
But in all actuality, I mean, I had been to college already for like 3 years,
Hmm.
straight, hardly taking a break. Sometimes I
Hmm.
would take summer as a break,
All right.
and it actually was a lot of work because I learned anatomy. I learned we had to study anatomy. We had to study the muscles, cells, nerves,
What?
bones. Yes, a lot of people think they're shocked. I was shocked, and we had to cram all of that into
Hmm.
1 year. Now they're
Wait a minute.
they
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You had to
yes.
take all this stuff just so you could cut my hair.
Yes, because master cosmet. So you have barbering, and then
Hmm.
you have master barbering,
Hmm.
which is very is equivalent to master cosmetology, really. And then you have stylist. So you have all this, and then you have nail techs, and you have those who just specialize in that one thing. Where for master cosmetology, you're specializing in everything. You're doing the cuts, you're
Hmm.
doing the styles, you're
Hmm.
doing color.
Hmm.
You have to know that certain parts of the head could cause somebody to die. You know what I'm saying?
Parts
You
of the
get
head. Oh, wait a minute.
yes.
But what about these folks that have all these, they got like peaks in the back of the head and mountain peaks and valleys in
Yes,
there.
you have to be careful with those things. Some of those things could be a soft spot. It's so many little things that you really have to look into, which is actually the purpose of your consultation as well. And like I said, we do facials, master cosmetologists, we do facials, pedicures, manicures, all of that. I mean, everything that has to deal with the skin, hair, and
Mhm.
nails, everything.
Hey, let me ask
Um,
you something real quick.
mhm.
Is David in the business?
He actually is actually kind of getting into it. I'm gonna go ahead and put out there that he's starting to look into these products for beards. I also
Okay.
do his hair as well.
All right.
So and we do collaborate on a lot of those things.
All right, David, don't go anywhere, brother. We're going to bring you on in a couple of minutes. Don't you go anywhere.
So
I know you're not ready, but brother, you there now. You there. Hey, listen, let me ask you something. All this studying about hair. So you have to study about textures. You
yes.
have to study about the roots in the scalp and all that.
Oh yes. A lot of people, especially people of color, we could
Hmm.
kind of get it mixed up as far as what coarse hair really is. And
Okay.
in all actuality, our hair,
Hmm.
as people with of melanin, we
Hmm.
actually have softer hair. We don't
Hmm.
have coarse hair. You know,
You know,
your coarser hair, the straighter your hair is, the coarser it is. So
really?
when you start, yes, so it has to. It's more coarse if your hair is straight. So actually, 9 times out of 10, and we're not talking about fine hair and thick hair now. We're talking about just the actual texture, your curl pattern. Most of the time, when that hair is really curly, it's
Hmm.
really, really extremely soft. And you just have to worry about putting moisture in that hair. You put moisture in that hair, the coilier it is or the curlier it is,
Hmm.
the more moisture it needs.
Hmm.
The people who actually really have the coarse hair is your Asians and
Hmm.
your Hispanics,
Okay.
Caucasians. They have more of the coarser hair.
Okay.
So yes, the density of your hair, you have to worry about all that. Your density as you get older, of course, your hair changes. You don't have, it's not as thick as it was before. The density of your hair is just, when you take a surrounding area, say we'll just take this little patch of my hair. Over time, the density of this hair will change. It will it will decrease. It won't be as many hairs. So that's what your density refers to. Same thing. Let
me ask you something real quick. How can people save money as they're trying to take care of their hair? What's the best way for them to not spend a ton of money?
Okay, here's a prime example. A lot of people think getting products from Walmart, your local retail stores, your everyday retail stores, grocery stores, is the better way of saving, because a lot of times you'll get those bottles and they're like $5, $10, for a shampoo or conditioner, and they don't know. And I didn't know this either until I got to school, but they don't realize that product, for one, is 9 times out of 10 going to damage your hair, because the detergents in it, the shampoos and the conditioners that they're selling, if they're not professional, they're actually just as bad as using, and they strip away your hair, strip away the moisture in your hair, as Dawn dish detergent. So of course you're going to lose money there, because you're going to have to go back and try to take care of your hair another way. If you invest, and a lot of people think this is too much, but if you get a liter bottle, or we're going to not even say a liter, half a liter of professional product, 9 times out of 10, and it's best to buy it in a twin pack where you get the shampoo and the conditioner. And that will save you some money, for one. You'll probably get that, we'll say at most, it might be $30 for a smaller bottle, but 9 times out of 10, it's going to take you 6 months to run through that bottle. People don't realize that professional products are also quality products. So you're spending that $30, but that's going to take you 6 months versus that bottle that you thought you got for $10 or $5 at Walmart, and that you're going to run out of that in 2 months, maybe a month even, because all you need in a professional product at most is a quarter size. You just need a quarter size of shampoo, and you shouldn't be shampooing your hair every day. You should only shampoo your hair once, twice a week. That's at most. And conditioning it, make sure you condition it as well, and that'll keep it from breaking. That'll keep you from breakage in your hair and split ends. So that's going to save you money, because you don't have to, as women, or somebody with long hair, you don't have to get that hair cut as often. You get that hair cut every 3 months, and it should only be a trim, so that'll save you money. A lot of people think, I got to get it cut every month. You don't have to do that.
All right. Now, hey, look, she said something, David, about your beard. You do something with the beard. All right. So, because your beard is tight. I'm looking at him saying, okay, I tried to do that, but it just itched so bad. I don't know what to do, because the itch is tearing me up. So I put oil and stuff on there, and I'm like, okay, this ain't working. Brother gonna have to cut this back down. So that's why I wear clothes like this, because I can't deal with the itch. Now, what is it that you two collaborate on concerning hair? And tell me, how do you take care of your beard?
Well, as far as me, when it comes to beard, I use whipped shea butter, the ivory kind. I don't know if you heard of that.
Shea butter?
Shea butter. It stops
really,
and it moisturizes the beard real good.
Really?
It automatically stops the itching. Yes, sir.
I had no idea.
Yes, sir.
I had no clue. All right. Wow. All right. So that's revelation. I had no idea.
Yes, sir. That's one.
No. Hey, look, y'all. There's a brother from Kenya that's on with us. I wish we were able to get him in on this. Let me mention this to you, that this is going to air at least 1 or 2 more times, maybe even more than that. All right. So let's talk about this some more. What type of collaboration do you two do? What type of collaboration?
Collaboration. I've been like
When y'all do sit down and talk, what do y'all talk about when it comes to hair?
the hair growth. It's like I don't care what oil I put on my hair. It really didn't grow. It moisturized it, but it didn't do anything as far as growth. But until then, Samaria put me on liquid biotin. I'm starting to see results.
Liquid biotin?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now I've
So-
seen liquid biotin before, but I never. Go ahead, tell us some more about it.
Okay, so liquid biotin, typically you have all different type of biotin supplements. You have gummies, you
Okay.
have your pills, your capsules, and I have taken these products myself. As far as your capsules go, I've learned after research your capsules, you only get about 50-something% of the benefits of biotin through the capsules, only 50-something%. And with the capsules or the pills, you have to take those for about a month before it will even get into your system. Now with the liquid biotin, so that's a month. Think about that month. You have those 30 days or 30 days of capsules that you're taking, and you're not even reaping the benefits yet.
Okay.
Now with the liquid biotin, it goes straight into your system, and you're going to get 90-something% of those benefits from the liquid biotin. So this is why liquid biotin is a better choice than your other biotin supplements. Liquid biotin gets into your system immediately. You could take it, you're going to see results faster because you're going to get 90-something% plus it's getting it straight into your system. Not only are you able to take that orally, but you can take liquid biotin and apply it topically as well.
So you can spread it on your hair.
And so on your scalp, yep. It's typically for your scalp. You could just, put a few drops in, moisturize it into your scalp, and literally, like, you're going to see the results. I've used it both ways. I've used it by itself. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I wasn't taking it orally. I was only taking it, and there's my daughter. I was only taking it or applying it topically because I didn't know how it would affect her at the time. So I didn't want to take a chance. And then after I had her, I also experienced a little bit of hair loss and like those peaks. And I didn't know that when you have kids or when you have babies that mothers could go through that. They experience that hair loss. And that's what I did. I experienced the hair loss. I freaked out, of course. And it was immediate. I had my hair in a ponytail. Next thing I know, this little part was like very thin. And I used it orally during that time and saw growth within 2 weeks, and it was filled in. And of course, I put that on speed dial by applying it topically as well. So I do know that it works both ways. And I will say that sometimes you also have to watch with liquid biotin. You do have to watch the strengths of it. So when I say that is when it comes to the strength of it and applying it topically, if it's too strong, always pay attention to your hair. If it's too strong for your hair, your hair might become a little coarser or whatnot, but typically you don't really run into that, but you could, it's a possibility. But I have had my clients use it on their beards as well. I've had a couple of clients that's had cancer, and they didn't have any hair growing back on top of their head. This is for men and women. And one client, it's still not as full as he would want it to be. However, he went from not having a hairline to having a hairline, and that's being able to actually cut his hair on top. And he has grown a beard, and which was patchy before. Which is during this time I had already, gone through that with my clients, and I was telling David about it for the same reason. And he's noticed his hair growth and it's strong, with his beard.
Wow.
So You know, those are little things that you know we have access to on a daily at your health food store. You can get that from the health food store. I do at some point do plan to retail that myself. But yes, and like I said, and David has collaborated with me, and he's coming out with his product soon. Because he loves looking into the oils. And like he said, he's played with the oils and everything, and it keeps his beard moisturized. And now he knows about that liquid biotin. So now he knows about the growth, can do something that will grow the hair and moisturize the hair as well. So yes.
All right. So David, let's go back to you and the beard, brother. How did you do that? Now, is that your natural, or did you color your beard?
This is color. Samir put color on it.
So yeah, I'm guilty of putting color in that beard.
All right,
Yes.
all right. I was just checking. I said, because that looked tough. I have a friend who in Connecticut, his beard is gray and black, but it's gray around here and then black coming all down here. And I was like, how do you do that? But that's just how his hair grows.
Yes, I have a client who's just like that. Black here, but it's gray here and also gray here. So that is definitely possible for it to be natural and beautiful that way. Yes.
All right. So now you're using, what is it called? Biotin? What is it called?
Liquid biotin, biotin, and it's a hair. Usually if you go into the health store, if you can't remember biotin, you can ask them and tell them, hey, I want a vitamin for hair, skin, and nails. And automatically they'll take you to biotin. And then it'll jog your memory, of course, and then you'll just tell them that you want the liquid version of that.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So now let's get back to, because you said something. You said that David's coming out with his product as well. All right. Now, now we getting into the juicy stuff. Right? We getting into the juicy stuff now, because this is critical. People need to know what's going on in the community. All right. All right. So we're going to talk about the product David's coming out with pretty soon, but we want to talk about you a little bit, Samaria, your shop. Right now, you are located in what city, or are you doing mobile? What are you doing to your clients?
So I was doing mobile. I had my shop opened, COVID, I closed it down, and then I went mobile. And then I decided at that moment that I closed my shop down that I wanted to purchase a home and then put the building, not in my home, but do a completely separate building standalone building on the property that will serve as the shop. So that's what I currently have right now. Of course, it's getting worked on right now on the inside, but it is there, it's present. And that being said, like I said, it did teach me something when COVID came along, that I could actually have my own building at an affordable price and never have to force myself to remove myself or remove my business and stop my business from having to rent from someone else.
Okay. All right.
So I am in Brunswick, Georgia.
Yes,
it is. It is. I'm in Brunswick, Georgia right now. And I am located at 116 Chapel Crossing Road. It's directly across from Nissan. But yes, it was a way to save money, because at the time I was paying a little bit under $1,000 a month for that business, for the shop to run. And so I carried that on my own for the most part. I had a few people working with me. Everybody wasn't able to pay their booth rent or whatnot, but then it helped me understand that if I was able to pay that $1,000 a month for that particular shop, that I could pay a $1,000 a month mortgage and have my business there. And so that's exactly what I did. So I set out for that goal. I pay a little bit under $1,000 for my mortgage, and legit, I have a business on the property, and that's a tax write-off. So boom, another way to save money. And
what's the name of your business?
It is called. It was Divine Dimensions, but it is now Diverse Kings and Queens. And Diverse Kings and Queens. Because my goal is to make sure that everybody that comes into the shop, and I always call it my barbershop family, that everybody comes in and they come out feeling like a king and a queen, regardless. Or little kings and queens, because I have my baby clients too. And so, and I cater to everybody. I do all types of hair, all textures. I have a diverse group of clientele, and I take pride in that and advertise that as well, because there's a lot of people out there, they only do one type of hair, but I cut all types of hair. I color all types of hair. I offer services for all textures and grades of hair. Yep. Yes, and so yes.
How long have you been in business?
I started my own business literally right after I had my baby. So in 2018, the end of 2018, I think it was Thanksgiving, I believe.
Oh, wow.
So it's been, so it's been 5 years, almost 5 years. Yeah.
How long have you been doing hair?
Oh, man. So I've been licensed.
Started as a teenager.
Yes, started as a teenager. So I started doing everything by the time I was 16. I'm 34 now. So it's been 18 years since I've been doing it in general. As far as license, it's been, I believe, 10 years. Oh my gosh, time flies by so fast. So yes, it's been about 10 years, going on 11 years since I've actually been licensed for it.
Wow. So you've been doing this thing for the majority of your life.
Yes.
I mean, really, that's what it boils down to. You've been doing this the majority of your life.
Right. Yes, it is. I've been doing it for the majority, and it's definitely something that I love to do. I definitely would recommend people, like, if they have a particular hobby, that hobby could definitely be your career, because this was definitely something that I just did for fun. But every day, of course, you have to work on your job every day. And I definitely understand now the difference between a job and a career. And it's a beautiful career for me, because I can get up every day. Somebody could tell me, hey, I need a haircut today, or I need my hair done today. And I don't mind, because it's something that I like to do. So it's also therapy for me, you know? And so it's no longer a thing where I'm just like, hey, I'm just doing this to make money. You know, I'm doing this, I'm enjoying this, and I make money doing what I enjoy. So that's definitely a beautiful thing. Yes.
Wow. Man, I love it. Hey, David, tell us about the product that you're coming out with.
Well, the company is called It's the Beard for Me. So
what? It's the what?
It's the
beard for me.
I love it. It's the beard for me.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Hey, wait a minute. How old are you?
36.
Oh, man. And what about you, Samaria?
I'm 34. Oh,
all right. Listen, I tell you what, right age. This is the age. I am so excited. I am fired up. All right. You got me a little excited here, brother. For me. So now, do you put that biotin stuff on your beard?
I haven't put it not on my beard, but I've been ingesting it. I need to start putting it on the beard, though.
Yes.
All right, but you've been putting the shea butter on your beard?
Yeah, shea butter. Yes, it helps with hydration. Some people can't stand the shea butter because, it got a real nutty smell. So you have to mix it with the oils, your favorite oils, to coat the smell.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because you know what? I used to use shea butter. I used to like putting it on my skin, but I couldn't stand the smell.
See?
I couldn't stand the smell. Now I see what I know what to do. So look, everything that you guys are saying, this is money saving stuff. I mean, it sounds like, well, I don't want to jump the gun. Tell us more about your product, David.
But yes, sir. It's the product's actually coming from Miami, Florida.
Okay.
So I just have to wait for it to come, and it's gonna be more like beard oils, the bar, a soap, but it's moisturizing to help the beard stay moisturized. You can do it with your body too. So it got body oil, skin products. It's a lot getting ready to happen.
All right. All right. Body oils. And what else? Skin
care.
Skin care.
Yeah, like scrubs, not for the women. You know, it's deep.
All right. So look. Let me interrupt you real quick. We're gonna have you come back.
Okay.
Once that comes out, and Samaria. Oh my goodness, man! Y'all are doing it at the right age. I want to encourage you guys in something, and then we're going to talk about some more of what you're doing. I want to. Oh, wait a minute, Samaria. You've got to introduce your baby. You've got to introduce. She wants to say hi.
She does. Say hello. Say hello.
Hey, baby. What's her name?
Tell them your name. Oh, she's being bashful now. She is very early. But her name. She has 6 names now. She has 6 names.
Did you
like I do. I did. Yes. Okay. We both have 6 names, but I also named her after my mother. So she has my mom's full name. Mm-hmm. So we call her baby Candace. She said Candace. So we call her baby Candace because my mother's name is Candace Deborah Johnson Willridge. Mm-hmm. But her first 2 names are Apsara Kahira and then Candace Deborah Johnson Bryant. So she's something else. Now when I have my clients come, she's like, "Hey, mommy, we have clients." So I don't know if so she's already a businesswoman, you know. So I feel like that's probably what she's gonna be doing in the future. She's gonna be definitely a businesswoman.
That is powerful.
What are you?
That is
powerful.
So we lost her. She'll be back. She'll be getting back on in a moment. All right, now, David, tell us, man, when are these products coming out?
Sometime next week.
What?
Yes, sir.
Next week?
Yes, sir. It's coming real soon. Yes, sir.
Next week. Well, next week we're going to be talking about mortgages and real estate, because people need to know how to buy a house. You know, it's not just, well, I'm going to go get this house. I'm going to go to this bank and get this. You need preparation. You got to be prepared. So we're going to have somebody from a mortgage company on. We're going to have somebody from a real estate company come on. And we're going to talk about what do people need to do to get ready to buy a house. What do they need to do to get into the real estate market? All right. And we're going to come back to that same question with you, Samaria. What do people need to do? Now, let me ask you something, David. How long have you been messing around with this?
Oh, for a couple of years now. But I always cut it down. But I said, Samaria, I gotta have it to grow. She says, well, just stop cutting it.
Well, that makes sense. Just stop cutting. All right. Yeah. All right.
Yes. And work on the growth. Yeah.
But one thing I learned about
work on the growth.
You have to stay away from the no sulfate. The no sulfate will dry your hair out. Shampoo, conditioner, all of that. I always get the no sulfate. If it say that, I'm getting it. So the sulfate.
No sulfate. Okay. Okay. All right, man. This is some good stuff. See, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that. All right. All right. And now let's go back to Samaria. You've been doing this probably since you were knee high to a grasshopper. You just got outside. You started doing hair. All right. Now, do you see your baby jumping on board with you? I mean, it seems like that she has an interest already. She wants to mimic. And look, this is how we pass generational businesses, generational wealth. We don't push our children out of it. We keep them around so that they can see what we're doing. And if they have interest, guess what? We don't have to force, we don't have to twist their arm. They will naturally gravitate towards it. If we see that they're not interested in it, they will gravitate towards the things that God really placed in them. And we make sure we pray them away from the negative things. Keep them away from the negative things. That's called parenting, right? And
exactly.
And then we keep speaking positive. We want to encourage them to do the things that's grabbing their attention, if it's not negative and if it's not destroying their lives. We want to make sure that we encourage that. All right.
Indeed.
So, Samaria, I need to know something. I need to know about a little bit more of what you do, because you do hair products, you do hair. Are you coming out with your own products as well?
Yes, me and David have talked about that as well. I more so want to do the liquid biotin, and more so focus on hair growth itself. We both have talked about skincare in general. I think both of us believe in skincare because both of us try to take care of our skin, because that's also an important thing. That's also an important thing. Hey, I'm on it. Stop. That is also, mommy's handling business right now. Okay. I don't want to. Okay. So that's also an important thing. You mentioned something about the scalp.
Right.
As well. And when you talked about the bald head, because a lot of people think, oh, I don't have any hair, I don't have to worry about going to the barbershop or whatnot. And I've gotten that a lot. And I've told people, oh, well, we could shampoo and condition that scalp of yours, you know what I'm saying, and oil it down, and they always, think I'm joking. And I'm like, no, but seriously, because a lot of times you'll see a bald-headed man or woman, and they'll experience that dryness. That scalp is exposed to the air. So you have to treat it like your face, so you have to make sure you moisturize. You have to make sure you exfoliate. Exfoliating is very important because that dry skin, that's going to keep you aging as well. That's why it's always good to exfoliate that, and so that skin can rejuvenate. And when you exfoliate and you put a moisturizer on, that helps because when you exfoliate and you don't put a moisturizer on, it's going to create extra oil. A lot of people think they have oily skin, and they do not. So most of the time they have dry skin, and because they did not apply that conditioner or did not apply that face cream on their face, now their skin is overcompensating with the oils to try to moisture that skin because it's missing oil because you didn't put it back on. So that's another thing that
and that is saving people money.
That will save you money. Exactly. Because you're gonna, of course, if you think you have oily skin, you're gonna be buying all these extra products, trying to make sure but what you're doing is you're stripping that skin and you're not putting that moisture back in. And so you're looking for everything else in the book, not realizing that it's not helping. So yes, that's most definitely something that I care about, and definitely something I'm looking into as far as product as well.
Wow. All right. So now let me ask you something here. What about the people that like to dye their hair all these different colors. Like I see people 1 week is one color, next week
Mhm.
it's another color, the next week it's another color, the next week is what is it doing to their skin?
So, this is one thing. Me and David play with this all the time because we color his hair on the regular. And a lot of people, and I used to get the same thing with my hair, and I don't color my hair often, but I could play with my reds. And yes, that's his hair now. He has two different colors in his hair. I don't know if y'all can see that.
I can see it. I can see it.
Yes, and so we played with two different tones in his hair. A lot of people think, for one, oh, coloring hair is just coloring your hair. If you're doing it improperly and you're changing your hair color every week and you're not putting the time and conditioning your hair, or the way you colored it was not done correctly, you will strip your hair and it will break off. It will do so. So you will definitely jeopardize the integrity of your hair and your scalp, because coloring your hair can be drying if you're not doing it correctly. However, there is a way to color your hair and change different colors. I tell people all the time, if you think you're gonna change your hair all the time, the color of your hair once a week or whatnot, lighten that hair, get it lightened professionally. Make sure it's done properly, because there's a way to lighten your hair and lighten it with speed without the drying out completely, because you're gonna make sure you deep condition it, to make sure you put the moisture back in, and then from there you could change that blonde color, or if you like deeper tones, you could do a darker blonde, and you could change it and put blue over it. You could put no, ma'am. You can put blue over it. You can put red over it. You can put, and you'll use semi-permanent colors to do that versus constantly using permanent colors every week.
All right.
So that's the way to do it in a healthy process.
Do you ever give like demonstrations, hair demonstrations, or anything like that?
I have not. I definitely walk each of my clients through the color process. Okay. I do have clients who will call me up and they're like, hey, I want to do this myself. How do I do this? And because I've walked them through the process, they kind of have an idea, but they'll call me for a consultation sometimes to save money. I may charge them $20, $25 for the consultation to walk them through the process. But that's about the closest I've gotten to a demonstration. I do plan one day to possibly be in a position where I can do, when I completely open up my shop once more again and get it settled, be able to do demonstrations for people who also want their license. That way they'll have an idea, or people who already have their license and want to. No, ma'am. People who have their license and want to do specialize in a particular thing, as far as maybe fades or lineups or color.
Wow, that's serious stuff. That is really serious. All right. Well, now let me ask you something, because I see this a lot. All right. When I was growing up, let's talk about hairstyles for a moment.
Okay.
When I was growing up, the big thing was the afro. The afro. All right. Now I had a huge afro. I mean, it was out. I used to wear braids. Sometimes my braids stopped in the middle of my back, and when I take the braid out, my hair is really thick, so it's on my shoulders, and nice to always get it trimmed. And then we went from the afro to the Jerry curl or whatever curl, and we have men and women wearing that, right? And then we went from that to before the afro, the process, process, all right, because black folks wanted to be white, or they thought having their hair slick like that made the difference, especially for those going into the entertainment industry. All right. So you always see that slick here. And then it went from that to the black pride. That's the afro. And it started climbing. And we went into the curly hair. and the different types. So how does that affect all that changing? And women used to use straighten a comb, straight, right? All right.
Yep.
And now a lot of women and men are doing natural. So let's talk about the health benefits of the current hairstyle.
Okay,
Let's talk about how this has really damaged, or did it help, or is it now? Talk about it.
Okay. As far as the changes, because yes, there has been definitely the hair industry constantly changes on the regular. And typically they'll have hair shows every year that stylists, barbers, master cosmetologists can go to. Anybody that's in the hair care industry or the skin industry, go to these hair shows and you learn these different styles of what's coming, or about new products and whatnot, how to take care of the hair, or what's coming up, what's in style. So that's another way to keep up with the trend sometimes. But as far as how these styles can damage the hair or how it can benefit the hair, of course, that's very important to know. Chemicals, for one, you have to understand your hair and what's best for your daily hair care practices and what's best for your hair.
Okay.
Maybe no, you can't do that. So for one, let's talk about locks right now, because I have locks. My daughter has locks. She did chew. A lot of people was like, hey, they asked me about that because she has locks and she's so young, but she's also very opinionated. And she has her own mind at a young age. And after a while, she just wanted it after I had them for a while. And I gave them to her. But you do have to take care of locks. A lot of people feel like locks are low maintenance, and they are. They can be very low maintenance on a daily. However, you do have to still take care of them. I have sister locks, micro locks, and my hair is very soft. They didn't lock immediately. However, you have to do sister locks. You have to maintain them every 6 to 8 weeks. Once you start getting past that 8 weeks with the sister locks, you can get breakage. Breakage can occur, and now you've undone the purpose of having locks. So you just have to figure out how you want to maintain your hair. The bigger the lock, a lot of people feel like big locks are good, and they are, depending on the hair. The larger your locks are, you don't have to maintain them as often. Of course, they kind of look, they can look a little messy or untamed, and that's beautiful. That's still a beautiful thing, because I like my locks when they're untamed a lot of times, because I can do more styles with them. But you just have to make sure that you're taking care of your hair properly for the state that is in. For the state that is in. I'm so sorry. For the state that is in. That being said, relaxers. Some people feel like, if they have a relaxer, I just had a client come in the other day. They've had a relaxer. She was a new client. She's had a relaxer for a while. She wanted to wait to maintain to get her relaxer. So she was doing her own relaxer every, I think, 3 to 4 months. So quarterly. Well, it was breaking off her hair. Because what people don't realize about the relaxer is if your hair is thicker and you're doing that relaxer, or you're over processing your hair, you need that process sooner, because the hair that grows out is stronger than that hair that's being processed. So you're going to get that breakage, quicker than you think if you're not processing the hair at the time that it needs to be, if your hair is not close to the texture that you're processing it to.
Okay.
So that's the one thing to keep in mind. Same thing with color. If you've over processed the hair, over processing the hair is going to definitely break off. It's going to cause breakage, because that over processed hair is going to break off from that hair that hasn't been processed, from that natural hair, especially if it's a totally different texture from the processed hair.
All right. Well, listen, we got to get ready to wrap this up. Man, it's been a powerful show. Let me ask you one quick question about natural hair, because and my wife went natural. All right. It looks really nice and everything, but she really wants to know how to maintain it and to take care of it. Now, we may I might have to have her call you for this one, but because she was asking me, she said, "Well, where's that young lady? Where is she out of?" I said, "She's somewhere down there where Vetta lives." You know, so tell us about that real quick.
Okay, natural hair, like I said, you just have to know your hair, and sometimes it takes a time to learn your hair. But a lot of the main thing you need to know is moisture. Make sure your hair can maintain moisture. So I preferably like water-based products for my hair, and they soak into my hair faster. A lot of times, in order to get that moisture, if you want, you could spray water in your hair. I use a 360 spray bottle. That's what it's called, 360 spray bottle. It has a nice continuous spray, similar to an aerosol, and those water particles can kind of penetrate the hair a little better without soaking the hair. And then you can actually put a cream or a moisturizer after you put that water on your hair. That cream will now soak in a little better because that water is going to help it soak into the strands. Then, in order to top it off, if you have hair that's even drier, apply a thicker cream. And then to seal it, you can put an oil on it. That oil is going to seal the cuticle of the hair and also lock that moisture in. So you will get the full benefits from your moisturizer that way. Wow. Oil that I would say I preferably like to use pure coconut oil that you would typically get from the hair store. I use Expeller Press because you can easily emulsify it in your hands. If you need a thicker oil because you have thicker hair, you can use, I would say, avocado oil or olive oil.
Wow. Well, look, folks, we want to thank you so much, Samaria. Hey, look, her name and number is running down at the bottom of the screen. So if you guys, and her email is there, if you want to reach out to her, she's located right in Brunswick. I mean, let's face it. Y'all go to Atlanta for a party, and you're right in this area. So Brunswick's only like an hour from us, maybe an hour and a little more. So it's not that far, right? But if my brother that's over in Kenya, if you really living in Kenya, well, it'd be too much of a trip. But but well, hey, look, I loved having you on.
Thank you.
Another time. I want to thank you so much. And we're going to see you next time, okay? Hey,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being with us. Samaria, don't go anywhere. Thank you so much for being with us today. And God bless you. We love you guys. We'll see you next week.
Like this.